Hello there, everyone. Welcome to another Z2R Upstarts tournament match. We have our second semifinal between VixRyder and Aaron2u2. We've got Mariah again, and this time he's joined by Star. Take it from here, you two.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing, Mariah?
Hello. I am doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Bit tired, but looking forward to a good match. We've got VixRyder versus Aaron, pair of good runners in our Upstarts semifinals. Should be a fun match.
Absolutely. This is kind of a rematch from right before brackets to decide who is the second seed and the third seed moving into brackets for placement and their upcoming matches in this portion of the tournament. And Aaron did take a win there, so Vix might be coming back with a little bit of a grudge here.
Yep. Aaron does have some interesting file names. No, I am Mariah. Regular old usernames for VixRyder, just coming since chat noticed that. But yeah, we are in semis here. We had a match yesterday. Where Chadwick leave, I think it was, is going to be moving on, and then the winner of this will face that to him, and the finals should be fun.
Absolutely.
And we're off. So, Upstarts, term designed for new runners. We had several rounds of, sorry, immediately south of Star. Unfortunately, this is the wrong end of it for Fairy. But newer runners, turning for newer runners, we had several rounds of async seeds, and then the top 8 runners moved on to brackets, and around now in semis here. It looks like we have a very... I'm not sure what biome this is yet, but it's being very linear and very cut off here right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling that this is a mountainous biome here with these little pockets. A lot of mountains in the area.
Yeah, I was debating between that, Caldera, or Vanilla-like, but I mean, inclined towards mountainous as well. I'm not even sure where we are in the relative to the map. I feel like we're kind of somewhere in the middle, but it's hard to tell as we get across here.
Yeah, unless we, I don't know. We'll head east from start and see exactly where we might be. There's a little bit more north. So yeah, a lot of swamp to start out as usual. A lot of fun moving around, getting out of the starting area.
Yep. We got a boulder-blocked cave here. I think this is actually the eastern edge of the map. And that's the southeast corner, actually. Okay, we're southeast-ish. It's really hard to tell. Just the other end of Sorry might just be in like a tiny pocket down there. It's hard to tell, but if we are down at the southern end of the map, because where Aaron is right now looks suspiciously like the southeast corner. We might need to find Bagu to get to the other end of Saria for Fairy, because this cave here, yeah, that's the southern end of the map. Looks suspicious to me.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that Vix was not going to find this. He was headed north, and then he decides to up an A and come down to check out this area, and lo and behold, it is Medicine Cave with just a magic container. Well, I say just a magic container, but that could come in handy early on.
Yeah.
I mean...
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's not necessarily like a magic key or the glove or something like that.
But yeah, this is confirmed in the far southeast corner because we could see the edges of a map there here just by this cave, and we're not very far. There's barely enough room, I think, vertically on this map to fit the southern part of Saria, so that's going to be tricky to get there. It might just be Saria and nothing else in that little pocket. I'm curious where Bagu is, given that we probably need it. Let's see where they choose to go between these two northern paths. The Boulder Block Cave, they're totally unconnected here at the moment, as the typical of a mountainous biome. Let's see if we just link up a little here, but let's see. Mountainous being mountainous.
Yeah, it'd be great if Sari had a little raft tile hidden down there along the southern coast.
No, that's a possibility. It would be a stupid one, but then again, the map router tends to do some really silly things.
Yeah, just out of sight. Just out of sight, and you're probably not going to exit out of the front of Saria when you're in there to get Fairy.
No. Alright. Aaron heading slightly, kind of vaguely in the northeast direction. Vix heading slightly further west.
Yeah, Vix is finding Bagu, though, I think. I know, sure, Aaron saw these encounters.
That's a good point, because as we mentioned, Bagu might be the key here as to getting to Saria, given that the other end, we found the wrong end of Saria. Unfortunately, it seems quite isolated. Here's another item cave. Maybe nope. That's actually a pass through somehow for Aaron. Okay, but I thought we were a little close to the edge of the map, but apparently not.
Maybe that leads to a raft tile on the coast. It's I'm just I don't know.
Because it's
for a
all a
little
little
trouble.
hard to tell where things are relative to each other in the map.
Yeah.
Granted, that's a pass through. But that goes west, so that's fine. There's two palaces in this area where Vix is at. That is definitely the coast and what I think is approximately the northeast corner for Aaron. Another pass through for Vix, probably linking the one he just found. And Aaron takes it off.
Yeah, Vic's still looking for Bagu here.
And there's a raft tile. It is also behind that pass-through cave we just saw a minute ago that was heading east from his current position, because there's the other end of it. You can just barely see it on his screen. You could just barely see it on the screen a second ago. I don't remember which one of the pass-throughs it was, and if you can actually go through it yet, though.
That was that was Jump that is connected to the raft tile there.
Oh, it's Jump Cave. Well, yeah, can't get that yet. Spellspill and Rudo here in the northeast, more or less.
Trophy was on grass tile too, so he'll be able to pick that up.
Yep. Might as well while you're here. Vix is still looking around. Hasn't checked what either of these two palaces he's in the vicinity of is yet. Here we are, P3 or 6.
Yeah, I think we talked about this yesterday on comms, is that when you see a Bagu encounter, I believe it's 3 tiles. Bagu has to be within 3 tiles of that encounter in one direction or in a direction. So once you find that encounter, you can kind of just figure out where the block of Lost Woods encounters is, and Bagu will be somewhere in there.
Yep. P2 is the other palace here. Kind of vaguely the north middle part of the map.
I don't
Vix
know.
heading over towards Aaron's present position a little further east, and yeah.
Did Vix find Bagu, or is he leaving that area now?
I don't think he did, as we find Reflect here and Mito on the in the north middle part of the map, I think.
Yeah, if he didn't find Bagu, if Aaron gets to these Bagu woods, I don't think Aaron's going to be as quick to give up on that. I think he's going to stick around because he knows that is definitely going to be found in that area.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Vix recognized that those are Bagu encounters. He was looking around a bit, but I'm not sure that he knows all the particulars of how that tile's generated.
Also leaving a key on the ground there. Might have not wanted to die. He's down to 1 heart there.
Here's a trophy for him, so he'll be able to pick up spell when he's in Rudo, which he'll go visit in a bit. That's just north of his present position.
I didn't catch
and
what was
this
in...
is the pass-through cave to the raft tile there for Vix. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't catch what was in Mito, and I didn't see what the spell hint was there.
Reflect was in Mito, I also spell hint.
Okay.
Okay, Aaron's gonna see the P3 or 6 and P2 here shortly.
Also seeing these Bagu encounters, so he'll probably... we could be wrong. We might have just missed Vix see Bagu and just looked away at Aaron for a moment. It's possible. But I hope he doesn't leave that behind, because Fairy in Saria looks to be potentially progression here.
Yeah, if nothing else, we know that the raft tile is what was it? Raft tile is Jump or Fair is behind Jump access is locked behind either Boots or Jump Fairy Cave. So or Jump Cave, which you need Jump or Fairy to get through.
Yeah, Vix is back here now, so he'll be back looking for Bagu.
Smart choice. But yeah, I strongly suspect we need that fairy spell to get us access to the raft tile and to go dig a palace for something, quite possibly at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen the western side of the map yet. I think we kind of need to loop up and west heading west from like P3, like this big area with P3 or 6, P5, and Lido here. I think we need to head somewhere just vaguely west of this big area to get to the western part of the map, but no one's done that yet, so we don't know what's over there. We are missing one palace and we're missing one town over that way, as well as a couple item caves.
Yeah, we're missing Trophy, Heart, and Pillar P Bag Cave.
So those are all somewhere on the western side of the map, though we don't know where, and we don't know what it looks like. Mountainous biomes can get fairly miserable, and this one's not been the kindest.
Aaron doing the iron knuckle grind here, but being rewarded with jars, as is typical.
Yeah. Vix is checking every single square in this patch of woods, and is still not finding Bagu. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I mean, it's...
It has found another of our item caves, but I don't know. That is Bagu's woods, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he saw it. It's not like it's a one-time trip. You can go back in there after you missed it the first time. It is very, very easy to accidentally counter-skip Bagu. That is a good point from Alandar as well. Vex has been over that entire area at least, I think, about twice by now. There's a raft, which helps.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm thinking we need to find Bagu somewhere in that patch of woods to get Fairy to go take that raft tile to somewhere that's not Los West.
Aaron having a less than pleasant time with this Iron Knuckle statue.
And Vix is gonna try and track further west now. See if he can do that. And takes it out. And whether that gets him anywhere. I want to go back to one of the palaces in Update, though. He's not too far from them and is on his last life. Those are 1,000-point P-backs, nice. Take attack 4 here.
Oh,
Got a second boulder blocked cave. I guess we are already on the western side of the map. So it's always hard to be sure with mountainous biomes. And that should be a cave too. Yep, that's an item cave.
So we have 2 boulder blocked caves.
One of which is probably our last item cave, I think.
And the other one
other
might be a pass-through.
Might be a pass-through or
Okay.
a connector cave. I mean, we haven't seen the southwest corner of the map yet.
Yeah.
Our final item cave could just be hiding somewhere down there. Aaron taking a look in the first room here decides to quit. There's the medicine. So there'll also be access to Reflect for Vix once he gets there. And we're also missing our last palace, which has got to be somewhere on the western side of the map, given we've seen, I think, more or less the eastern side. Unless it's hiding down by Saria, which is...
That would be interesting.
Nope, it's right here. And that's P1 here. Kind of peach-colored.
Yeah, I don't know how many keys Vix has picked up. We saw him leave 1 behind, and I know these runners are probably willing to gamble a little bit if they've got a few keys in their pocket, but Vix not jumping into the 1 so far.
Nope. It's going to try and continue heading further to the southwest, as that is a game over for Aaron.
Yeah, I believe the text to describe what's happening on Aaron's side is anger ensues.
It especially feels bad knowing that VixRyder has found several 1,000-point P-bags just by fighting regular enemies on the overworld. And Aaron has found Bagu. Did he talk to Bagu there? Or did he do so on a previous trip, because he just found it? That's a big find for him, although his levels is hurting, given he has spent a bunch of time for little reward there in that 3 or 6. When he can just get 1,000-point P-bags with some regularity. I know Vix has gotten at least 2 that I noticed.
Yeah, I don't know if Aaron has seen any yet. Because I don't remember. Well, I don't remember if they're coming from small or large enemies, and Aaron's been killing those red iron knuckles, and those are large enemies. So they might not be dropping the thousands. They might be the small enemies.
That might be. I have not been keeping track, but we're going to head into this peach-colored P1 here.
Yeah, I don't know how many keys that Vix has here. Trying to wait to catch when he opens these menu.
Yeah, I haven't checked either.
As long as if he can make it to the boss, he'll get a key because bosses are dropping keys in this flag set. But other than that, he'd have to get, if he doesn't have any keys, he'll have to hope for the item room to be one of the community item rooms that is open and key doorless on at least one side.
Yeah. Yeah, because unfortunately he did not find Bagu, though Aaron did. I'm not sure how Vix. We don't know for certain that Vix missed it, but it's yeah, he did comb the area several times, and perhaps just unfortunately got an encounter like Elendar noted and just missed Bagu because of it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he's going to go back. Although he may just be forced to go back at some point after
It feels like that's our bottleneck on this seed, at least.
Yeah.
Where's Rauru, by the way? I feel like there's a path just to the east of P1 that I think goes further south to the southwest corner, and I think that's where Rauru's hiding at, somewhere down there. We haven't seen it, and we're missing that in our final item cave, which is probably Boulder Block, since we've seen 2 of those. There's Aaron's first 1,000-point P bag. He's probably not thrilled to go 15 minutes without it. It's like, oh, I could have just added way easier grinding, rather than, you know, doing what he was doing in the 3 or 6 earlier. But Vex decides he's out of here. I'm surprised he's not looking for Rauru further south, though, because it's probably down there somewhere. Mostly by dint of we've seen the rest of the map, I think.
Yeah, he did go over there a little bit. There's a little bit of swamp, a little bit of a forest. I'm not sure if he fully explored that section. I'm sure when Aaron gets
down there,
he'll show us.
There's a path going south.
Okay.
There is a path going south in that area. Because P1 isn't the west corner. It's about midway down the western side of the map, give or take. Vic's still trying to find how on earth he's still managing to miss it, because he's got the right idea. He's checked this patch of wood several times at this point. For those who just joined us, Bagu is required for finding Fairy in Saria today, because as you can see from the Aaron there, or maybe not, I just glimpsed from his side there's actually a cave next to the other end of Fairy.
Yeah.
So there might be a pass-through cave, next to Saria, so there might be a pass-through from that southwest corner, which Vix hasn't taken. I got him to, even though he saw that there, as he's gonna get reflected, okay?
No, that swamp down led back to start. That's how Aaron got back to Saria down here. It was a big loop.
Oh, what was it? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, Rauru's still missing.
Lost. Huh. Where is that then? I'm a little confused, I'll be honest.
Yeah, because you know what, is Parappa? No, I think we've seen all 3 pass-throughs on one side or the other.
I know we've seen the back end of Fairy Cave, kind of vaguely near Bagu, I think. We know that Jump Cave leads they are Jump Fairy blocked from the Raft Tunnel, because that's where Jump Cave is. We've probably seen Parappa Cave somewhere, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's still missing that Heart Container Cave, it looks like, which is just close by that P36, which is going to be the raft.
Any key in P2, by the way, and there for Aaron and Saria, and there's Trophy Cave, actually. So that's our last item cave. It's not boulder blocked. That does beg the question, though. If we've seen all of our item caves, we've seen all of our pass-through caves, and we've still got 2 boulder caves left, blocked caves left. Are those both continental connectors? Does it get a heart container here for Aaron?
It's possible.
We might have missed Parappa Cave, though. I've lost a little bit of track on that front.
Yeah, I thought I saw the front of it, and we've definitely seen the front of Fairy because both of our runners have dropped into it, and we've seen the front of Jump, and as we've noted several times, it leads to the raft.
Yeah. There's one of the boulder block caves. The other one's out over by P1, I think. Kind of vaguely in the northwest part of the map. And Rauru, I have no idea. So if the paths near P1 led back to the starting area, then I still know where. I suspect Rauru is still somewhere down to the southwest, just because that's the only. Because I don't think our North Palace was quite at the western edge of the map. I think it was a little further east. I feel like I might be sitting down that in the southwest corner, but I can't be sure. It might be hiding on the eastern coast too.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it could just be south of where we can see right there on Vix's side.
Yeah.
The beach town of Sario.
Rauru, you mean? We know where Sario is.
Yeah, Rauru.
It's being sneaky is what it is, and I feel like poor Vix is still looking for Bagu here.
Yeah, I'm getting, unfortunately, I'm getting some vibes here early on. If Vix can't find this Bagu, this is going to be like Vix in that tiebreaker race. Spoiler alert, but Vix did miss a continent connector for a chunk of that race between Aaron and him in the tiebreaker. And so if he misses this Bagu, we know that this is absolutely required to get through on progression because Helmet Head has that magic key, and he is not even over here on the Western continent as far as we know so far.
Yeah. Well, no, P2 is here on the west. We saw
it is.
Earlier.
Okay, my bad. It was 136, and I didn't remember.
It's the one just north of here.
Okay.
The P3 or 6 is just to the west. P1's over on the western side of the map, and P2 is just north of this area. Vix is within a few square tiles of it. It's here in the southern bit of this forest. He just seems to keep encounter skipping it, I guess, which is really bad luck for him.
Yeah, he started backtracking over the tiles he's been getting encounters on. I did see that the second or third time he came back, he was doing that. So now he's back a fourth time. But this would have been a lot different had he found Bagu much earlier on, say 8 minutes ago. There it is.
There we go, finally. He can't be thrilled. He's been over here several times. I think it's just really unlucky RNG that he just hasn't managed to not get an encounter on that one. But there we go. He is now. He's caught up on that, and Aaron is somewhere I missed.
He's in Heart Container Cave, getting the raft.
So they're pretty much tied up in exploration. Aaron's spending several minutes trying and failing to grind levels off the Iron Knuckle in that 3 or 6. Really helped Vix there.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember where this particular cave was at for Aaron, but I expect they're likely to both go take that raft tile soon. I don't see them really wanting to dig their palaces right now.
Yeah, Heart Container Cave is just a little west-northwest of P36 there.
Good. That's an item cave, Aaron. You checked this a while ago. That was like the first thing you did in the seed. Alright, then there's Fairy for Vix. Gonna check that. He knows there's a cave next to this, and he's gonna go check that and pick up his heart container. And Aaron's winding his way back up to that raft tile, it looks like.
Vic's also going to have to go back to Mido to grab downstab that Aaron now has.
Yep. Alright, Aaron's going to be our first runner to the raft tile here. At least Mido's a fairly quick trip. It's not too much of a detour.
Yeah. We're also going to see if Vix wants to jump into palaces ahead of Aaron here, because P1 and P2 aren't that difficult. And if you know P2 is here and it's got the magic key, I mean, that could be a huge game changer if Fairy stays expensive.
It could be, because I haven't paid attention to checks on that. Aaron was able to cast it to get downstab on Magic 1 in 5 jars, so it is castable. I just don't know by how much. That hurts.
Yeah, and the 1,000-point P-Bags on Vix's side has already given him Magic 3. I didn't see the cost between the two runners here, though, so far. We'll see it for Aaron in the next screen at least. Yeah, and Vix back to 1. It's, it's potentially a tough call. Like, on a mountainous biome, when you've got palaces that are spread out like this, I don't know if there's an amazing way to route this either now or later on. So
3 bars for Aaron, it looked like on Magic 1, so that's either 48 or just over or under. Hi! That's an island's east. And we'll consider right next to the raft tile.
Nice jump town.
Aaron Vix is deciding to do P1 here. It is a pretty quick palace, as you noted. We don't know the item in here, so this could be Snuck the Glove. Or the boots would be really big, since we just found out this is an Islands East.
Yeah, that would really open things up. Magic Key in 2, boots in 1. That would be huge.
That is a funky spot for the raft. Usually those lead to open water, but there's kind of a bridge in the way. I guess you can sail under the bridge on the water here? I guess that might not be violence. I thought it was at first glance, but that might be a vanilla-like. Still enough water to be a potential irritant for Aaron, though. That is the southwest corner, clearly, as we find Horset. That is a palace there on the southern bit. Yeah, this...
Are we boots locked there? Are we about to see the edge of Water Mountain?
That's we can't go further north. We have to take the bridges to the east here, and see where that gets us, because that's going to take us to the southeast corner of whatever this is.
I think it's just the palace, unless there's another bridge over there. So if that's just the palace,
there's another bridge on the other side of the palace,
okay.
But I don't know where that goes.
Gotcha.
Because if this is a vanilla-like east, they do have a tendency to be rather segmented and have a large amounts of water, so those could be only uglier ones.
Yeah. Vic's going back into 1 to grab whatever the item is here.
Oh, and it's a River Devil with GP! We are flute or boots locked off the east. Never mind!
So I'm still missing the cost on Vix's side for Fairy. He just skipped another key. Is Fairy that cheap at Magic 4 now?
I have no idea. But yeah, we need boots and or flute to continue on that east, because the River Devil's locking the getting around on foot, and we don't have boots to walk on water to get around on what I think might actually be vanilla-like, or possibly a really stupid canyon, but I'm more inclined towards vanilla-like for that biome, actually.
Yeah, that's gonna be a vanilla-like. I'm also wondering if maybe we have a hammer in here in one of these palaces that leads to our last cave. That's gonna be something else we need.
Cave.
Or that too could go to the maze, and then
we've seen all item caves. We were missing both, but we've still got 2 boulder blocked caves, and we think we've seen all 3 pass-throughs. So I think at least one of our 2 boulder blocked caves is a continental connector. It might be both. I'm not 100% sure. 42 fairy there for Aaron, so. Okay. But yeah, we are confirmed item locked out of the seat at the moment. So Vix is made the right choice to do this before going east, which works out.
Yeah, fairy 37 for him.
That's oof. They're only 5-point decrease in cost from Magic 1 to Magic 4. It's a good thing they have 6 jars, but that's not cheap. And the heart container is really not what they want to see.
Alright, we'll probably head north.
That 3 or 6 is required. We already know that P2's got the any key, and they've both seen that hint. And that's the only other item they have access to right now, is gonna be 3 or 6. Which is the one Vix is approaching right now here. P2's further north.
Did Vix head back? I don't think Vix headed back to Mito just yet.
It's just north of here. He'll probably do that shortly.
Also saw a P-bag as he exited that encounter from a small enemy, I believe is what that was. And unfortunately, it could have been another $1,000 in that bag.
Yeah, he's at 444, though, which isn't too bad at this point in the seed. This is going to be downstab for him. Aaron, having a key or 2 and a fairy castable already before coming in, will find the item a little quicker than Vix did.
Yeah, so we're looking for boots, flute, or hammer right now. The whole bunch of stuff we could find that hopefully is in, well, presumably is in 3/6 here.
One of those 3 has to be here, otherwise we've got a problem.
Yeah, Aaron's only got a few rooms left in this one. He knows it's a heart now, so he'll be out of here. He's probably just going to follow in Vix's footsteps just to go north And because they both have the hint for the magic key. Or maybe we'll do magic key first if Aaron feels maybe fairy is a little restrictive. Because if this is, if it does end up being 6, it could be a lot of doors in there.
Yeah, there's a 1,000-point P8 bag again for Aaron, so that's going to help him with his level deficit. And take attack 4 and magic 2 here, which will help. And we're going to instead see this P2 first for Vix. Hoping to get that for 3 or 6, presumably. I think he dipped into that 3 or 6 earlier. I don't remember how far he got in there, what he ran into, but it's also not a bad play necessarily to try for the any key first. So P2 can also be quite trolly in and of itself. The longer palaces.
Yeah, Vix was. I was going to note that Vix got smacked by a few bubbles in that first room, dropping his magic down. And when you have just enough magic to cast two cast a fairy, you want to be careful about losing your magic in those situations because, if you lose too much magic, then you can only get 1 cast where you would normally had 2. No idea if that's going to come into play or not, but that's, when you're really tight on resources, especially when you start doing more experienced, faster runs and whatnot, that is definitely something to look out for.
Yep. All right, horse head down for Aaron. Nice and quick on attack 4. No real surprises there.
Yeah, those 1,000-point P bags allowed Aaron to catch up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, which is good because he's still a couple magic levels behind, but that's relatively inconsequential. And we are just finding a dead end here for Vix. That's going to be enough to restart. Magic 3 there for Aaron. He's going to go up, and we'll see which of the 3 or 6 for P2 he digs first. Because for all we know, VixRyder could just be wasting a load of time. He could get glove locked out of here, for instance, or just generally trolled here in 2. Whereas Aaron is going to decide to do this 3 or 6 first, and that might be a time save for him, but we don't know. Aaron will have to eventually beat P2. We do run on standard desk flags, and it is 6 gem seeds for this tournament. So Aaron will do this at some point, but he might be able to save time by doing this later with better levels and better equipment, or maybe he won't. We don't know yet. It's certainly not a quick P2 though, because he's been here for a couple minutes and hasn't had much luck with anything particular.
Yeah, it looks like just hold left at the moment in P2.
Yeah, that's what Vix's current strategy is. There's another 1,000-point P bag for him. Yeah. By 5.
Oh, Aaron.
Oh, that hurts.
Whenever Aaron dies, he's always noting something down on a piece of paper, and he's a DWR runner, and so I always think that he's drawing a DWR map every time he leans down. Just for fun, even though we're playing Z2R, I think he's drawing a DWR map.
By the way, there's a lot of forks here. Vix just went down an elevator shaft with multiple paths off of it.
Yeah.
P2 is P5's baby brother, and we can see why. This one's got a lot of options, unfortunately.
There it is.
And there's the boots. I'm not surprised. That's gonna help a lot.
Free in a pass-through room.
And also, with those windows, confirmed that this is P6.
Unfortunately, Vic's in a dead-end room here.
Yeah, looking for the magic jar, maybe, or just not realizing it. Yeah, doesn't need a magic jar. He's got full magic.
We'll see how far this dragon is into the palace here. He hasn't seen a junction yet, has he? Was it straight through to this point?
I think there might have been one near start, but I was paying a bit more attention to VixRyder's trips through P2 on his end. Our runner's now tied up on levels. It is a good thing for VixRyder that this P2 does not have a very obvious helmet head, because Aaron will likely also sink a fair amount of time into this place once he gets here, because this is not being kind. Aaron might save some time by doing P2 at higher levels, but it's not going to save. But 445 is pretty decent for this place generally. Especially with Castable Fairy and Downstab. There's Barba.
Yeah, that dragon was not too hidden at all. It seemed like just straight from start into a pass-through item room, into the first elevator, and go up.
Yeah, and kind of low, and already had 3 bars of health missing, so a little sick today, it seems. Be a fairly quick fight as, here's Helmet Head for Vix.
Going to be tied up at 2 gems here in just a moment.
Yep. Ooh, that hurts for Vix. Those technically have 2 lives left, wasn't sure. Now, does VixRyder go back in for that Eddie key, I think, is the question right now.
I mean, I think you have to. He's seen a chunk of this place already. There can't be too much left. He's got, back from Helmet Head's room, he's got a left to an elevator that can go up, and I don't know what was up. That's assuming he doesn't game over here.
I was gonna say, I think there's at least 1 path left off in the eldest elevator shaft that Helmet Head's off of. There's another branch. I think just 1 room north of here, 1 floor, whatever you want to call it. But Helmet Head, with all the projectiles and everything, is not going well for Vix right now.
Yeah, the jump attacks like that into Helmet Head are a little difficult at times. Just getting the attack to land. The rising crouch stab is really the better move there, in my opinion. Much more control.
He's so close to an to double level, but you're on no health. It's not worth it to try and grind the extra 33 experience there. You're just gonna lose it all. So
yeah, that taking a magic level. Okay. And he's out. All right.
As decided, I do not want to spend more time in here looking for this any key. We'll see if Aaron finds it in his dig, because that could be that could make a difference.
Yeah.
But they're just gonna switch. They're just gonna switch palaces here, basically. I think Vix dipped a little into this 6 earlier, but I'm not quite sure.
Aaron did when he was grinding in here. And then he saw this blue iron knuckle and left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's okay. So there's no left at start. It is just simply like a hold right and get to the item room and then get to the boss.
All right then. Vix doesn't have Fairy, which Aaron did pick up in his trip to the east. So Aaron does have a fight. Technically has already been to the east and picked up Jump, but it's really not that much of a difference given that he got boots locked out of there immediately. So it's not going to be a substantial difference there. I'm honestly not sure who will get back to the east first. These guys right now, because neither of these palaces are exceedingly quick digs. It also depends whether Aaron decides to get the any key, because there's the boots for Vix.
Yeah, now, see, the thing is that Aaron did go through Jump Cave, 3 screens of that, took a death, at least 1 death in there. And so that cost that amount of time to get to the raft tile, take the raft to the east, and then see there was nothing there. Vix getting the boots before he even goes to the raft tile is not going to go through Jump Cave, going to be able to just walk around and then hit the east.
That's a good point I forgot, is that you can just skip Jump Cave with boots. Whoops!
Yeah, so a little bit of time save there. He doesn't know that, but, when we see this from our view, every little thing like this can kind of add up in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so their raises can be extremely close.
Wow, Magic 5 still has Fairy at 37.
That
might just be where it sits.
RNG not being nice. Yeah, that might just be where it's at.
And unfortunately, Vix casting Fairy before seeing that key on the ledge.
Yeah. Getting stuck in an iron knuckle sandwich here. Does just about make it out of here with his life, and Aaron's also going to keep going past the fork to Helmet Head, so is going to take us, or nope, going to head back up. So he's okay, because this right here leads straight to Helmet Head, and we'll see if he continues. We know the bottom of this elevator shaft went basically nowhere, because that's where Vix went before Helmet Head. Where's Barba though? So Vix is done.
They're both just changing places on which boss they were on a few minutes ago.
Yeah, they were doing simultaneous boss fights a couple of minutes ago, and they're still doing simultaneous boss fights now. Much better helmet head fight, though, for Aaron, so he's going to save some time on Vix.
That could be from Vanilla. There's a Vanilla strat, and Aaron's going to be familiar with that Vanilla kill strat.
Yeah, as he is a Vanilla speedrunner of this game. That is P2 down for Aaron. We'll see if he goes back in or not.
Looks like
and
not.
Barba's down as well. Nope, he's out of here.
No magic key for anybody today. Okay.
So they will be at parity for that. So Aaron will have a slight lead of maybe a minute or so, given that Airfix will want to stop by Old Casino, but pretty close here, heading over to the east for second time for Aaron, first time for Vix.
Yeah, so
Aaron does actually remember that he can just walk to the raft hall now with boots rather than having to take the jump cave, which is good, as that is thing it's forgettable sometimes. And there it is. There's Prowler. What a spot!
Now I wonder. Okay, I was gonna say I wonder if this is gonna be Thunder, but it's not.
No such luck, unfortunately. I did miss which spell it actually is.
It is Life.
Yeah, not the most helpful, given they're both at Life 6 and 6 arts. Nice to have, but it's not Thunder.
Now, the other question is, maybe this goes further south, so I wonder if there's maybe a Maze Island Bridge or something down here further south that's going to be cut off.
Possible. We did... We haven't... Because, yeah, there's a little... Because there's, just this itty-bitty little boots lock segment here on the coast that... Vix is gonna skip. It does look kind of like the bit of mountain just south of Raft Hall is like the edge of the map, but he is gonna check that this is indeed the other end of Jump Cave. But yeah, that does look kind of like the edge of the map there, just south of the Raft House. He's just gonna skip, which that's the life spell, which is nice but won't hurt him. We'll see if nope, that's a segment to nowhere.
Okay, so nothing that's going to change the flow of the game necessarily here.
Life might help Aaron, but it's not going to be... Vix is going to spend 20 minutes wandering around the map looking for Robber later.
Yeah.
Situation. Because those narrow water paths like that can be very sneaky.
All right, well, we're practically neck and neck on the east now.
Yep. Vix is going to first head north, sees a wall of mountains, and is going to head to the southeast corner as well. This is definitely a vanilla-like map again.
Yeah, we got a cave right here. Item cave indeed.
Has to be an item cave, yeah. There's nothing on the other end. There's nothing on the other side, on the southwest corner that it could connect to. So that's Risen Feedback Cave. We have no idea what we have. I don't think we've seen any items, hence for ID items on the east, so I don't know. No clue what this is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We just got a hint for something from Raru. I think it was Cross on the west, which was, of course, useless.
And 1,000 point P-Bag can't complain.
Yeah, so we're looking for our second palace outside of Death Valley, and we're not sure if we're going to need a flute for that, possibly a hammer, or it just might be sitting in the open. But depending on where Thunder is, we might also need a flute for that or a hammer. So those are the things that we're kind of watching for. Or a child. But it's like...
This cave to Death Mountain, so at least one of our connectors is not actually boulder blocked. And here's Raru. Shield Town here.
Another 1,000 points for Aaron. Also sees DM. Second palace is in the open.
Yep, just over here near the brewer, which... Yeah.
Oh,
Aaron's already gotten life, so decides I don't need shield. Vix doesn't have life and decides to get shield. Fair enough. P4 right next to the brewer here.
Yeah, I imagine Vix is going to jump in here as well.
I mean, why not? At this point, you want to clear the palaces as you go, because you don't want to do too much backtracking. Like, I doubt either runner's going to want to go back to the west unless they really have to, given they've now both cleared the entire place.
Yeah.
And no, actually, Vix is going to first take a quick walk around here. Yeah, okay, so vanilla easts tend to be about approximately separated into 3 general parts vertically, and that is in fact the southern third there, with a big wall of mountains to the north. So we can't go further north by water. We have to go on foot, probably on the eastern side of the map. We're gonna just see a P4 dig. Nice green color here. Game, aside from the kind of bright P1, hasn't been too bad for palette shuffle today.
Yeah, not yet at least. You know, when you get P5 being the bright and terrible one to dig, and then you got to fight Guma with super bright pink or something like that, or Thunderbird. Although we've seen GP's colors, so it's kind of like more of like a magenta-ish.
Yeah. Oh, that's a glove block for Aaron.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think that's the only path in here. He's clearly going for somewhere else, but that's concerning. As the glove is one of the items we kind of want to see at some point eventually.
Yeah,
no clue where it is, but it's got to be in the game somewhere.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if we're going to have that Death Mountain. Looks very potentially like a canyon. We might have a bridge at the very bottom of it, or still near the top of it because we entered in via cave.
Yeah.
But that bridge could be anywhere, and the other cave could be anywhere as well. Or the other cave we know is Hammerblock, so that could be it. Could be just the bridge back to the east and cave to Maze Island for all we know.
Yeah, we don't know. I guess one of the 2 boulder block caves in the west had to be one of the ends of Parappa, I suppose. Or one of the ends of our past years, and we lost track a little bit of where they all were leading, because that mountainous map was breaking my brain a bit.
Yeah, I guess Vix went the different way right off the bat, because he's not seen that glove block yet.
I was going to say, they've gone in completely different directions here in this P4. That hurts. Ouch. Yeah, they've gone in very different directions here in P4.
This is the item room for Aaron.
That's good. We do now know that the item is not glove locked, and that is a nice flute.
Yeah, still unknown if we're gonna need that.
No, we did eventually figure out that it's not locking. The river devil's not required because we found the boots and not that flute. But we don't know about this. We don't know about this flute because we've only seen the southern third or so of this map. We have not seen the northern 2/3, so we don't know if we might have a thread rock somewhere or what that might be.
Yeah.
Doomknocker hitting hard as usual. Much needed life 7 there for Vix for a health refill, and another 1,000-point P-Bag for Aaron.
So these so far are loops for our 2 runners. Unfortunately, this is a dead end for Vix unless he wants this. Oh no, the Fair's glove blocked, so. Yeah. I think we have a down and left here on Vix's side. Otherwise, it's going to be that glove block, so Karok potentially glove blocked.
Yeah.
We have another elevator here, though.
Yep.
Oh, well, okay.
And never mind. Okay, so Aaron just took the right path, and however Vix got to where he's at, was just not it. I honestly don't know how. I don't honestly know where Aaron went, so I don't know how they managed to go in completely different paths.
Yeah.
P4's not that large a palace, but they seem to manage to just find 2 completely different parts of the palace. And Aaron found the right one with both the item and Karok, and Vix has found everything else, I guess.
Vix looks like he's kind of looping back through some of the rooms he's been in before. These elevator rooms, these T-junctions he's seeing should have a door on the right-hand side, but there's no door, meaning that he came in from the other side at some point.
Yeah. Alright, so Aaron's going to be the first out of P4, just mostly by dint of routing, really, between the two runners. And, we'll see how we'll see what he finds on this east after he leaves.
Yeah, we've got some... Can we get up over here? I think we can. Yeah, we can.
You can walk up, yes.
I was gonna say, if we cannot, then I guess we're getting pushed into Death Mountain, but not just yet.
Nope, and there's our bridge tile. Alright, so that's our Maze Island connector here. And a very colorful, I did not catch if that was 3 or 5.
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
You kind of cursed those when I kind of cursed as when I mentioned that we hadn't seen anything too colorful yet, and then you said that we might get a bright pink 5. It's not the brightest of bright pinks, but it's definitely got a pretty high amount of saturation, as Vix has just gotten all the way back to start. Whoops.
And unfortunately, leaving the palace when we know it is fully accessible in its item and its boss.
Mm-hmm. First item in Museum is a P-bag here for Aaron on the southern edge of the map.
So yeah, this is going to be the first kind of set of divergence here that we're going to have, where Vix is going to have to come back to P4 at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too far away from where GP is at, so maybe not the worst thing, but still he's going to have to make that walk whenever he heads back. Whenever he places that 5th gem, you have to go back here to get that 6th gem then.
Yeah. Okay, actually we're still kind of in the middle of the map. This is our middle segment, not quite the northeast corner yet.
Well, there's our glove on the water tile.
Alright, that might
send Vix back into 4 soon, because he might think it's glove blocked.
Yes. Yeah, we did see at least one glove block room in there, though I don't know if he saw it specifically.
Yeah,
Aaron's still here in Maze Island. Vix has seen it and is deciding to leave that for now. I think that might be our entrance to the Valley of Death, however, just south of Vix's position.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think Death Valley was right where we landed with the raft. It was just northwest, but of course,
that's what I was thinking,
surrounded in mountains.
Yep, because the game does that. We're gonna head up to the northwest corner now. True northwest corner, that is. Aaron found the other item in Maze Island was a heart. And he's gonna head back into this very colorful P5.
Okay, so Chabber in the chat saying that Vix did see the glove block in 4, which is probably what pushed him out. Now, unfortunately, the further... Well, I don't know. I mean... There's not going to be any... Like, he's got everything he needs at this point, right? He's got jump, fairy, and the glove, and so he can definitely go back into 4 and take care of that now before he gets too far away from 4.
I am impressed that he can actually get the item here on 5 magic jars, which was another magic jar. Nice.
Yeah.
I did miss which spell was here.
Yeah, so did I. It's thunder or fire.
Thing. So we do know Child is going to be locking our thunder today. We don't know where Daruni is, though it's got to be somewhere up here on the northern end of the map, I think. Based on what we've seen of the map so far, we've seen both the southern third and the middle third. And our tracker JLo's been paying more attention than I have, at least, given that apparently they've noticed that fire is connected to jump as. Never mind, there's the Child. Good thing they got the spell ages ago.
Yeah, Vix doesn't have the full picture yet, though. He doesn't know whether... He knows he's missing Raru, but he doesn't know if it's got thunder in it or not. He'll be relieved to see that thunder is here on the east, though.
Yeah. He will not be going back. He's not going to go look for Raru, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he ever wants to go back to the west, period, at this point. But once he finds the Runia, which should be up here somewhere on the northern end of the map, as Aaron finds a fairly quick Guma, I think. But once Vix finds the Runia, he should be in effective go mode, I think, about.
Yeah, and that's assuming we don't see like a forest tile that is going to have a required hammer to get to Darunia.
Or Three-Eyed Rock, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Point.
Because Vix didn't grab that flute, that's right.
Yeah. It's going to make absolutely sure that this pocket of land here doesn't have Darunia, which usually that kind of thing is nothing, until it isn't, and then you curse at the seed for not checking. Yeah. Glove is in an item cave on the east, just not too far from this bridge here for Aaron. He'll find it shortly. Or in its water tile, right? But it's not too far. He'll find it really quick. It's going to be on the screen right now, in fact.
Oh, looks like Darunia is in the open.
And there's the magic jar. All right.
All right, so no Three-Eyed Rock, no forest tile. If we do see him, they are nothing at this point, at least as far as we're concerned. I think there might be a P-Bag cave still out there somewhere, although we see some caves, I think, right by Vix's side, so probably sitting over here. But if we did have a Three-Eyed Rock or a flute block, a flute block or a hammer block, could be that, but again, it's not going to be anything important unless it's a magic container and our runners really need magic for some reason.
Yeah, Vix is up to 7, and Aaron will probably be the same. They're fine.
Yeah.
And they've also got serious levels here, 5.7 and 6.77. Those 1,000-point P-Backs have been doing a lot of work. Unfortunately, I think Magic Fairy still casts a slightly stupid amount of magic. Yeah, still 2 bars for Aaron.
Wow, yeah, it didn't really come down. I mean, in the 30s is usually where it sits, though.
And I totally messed up that Thunder costs. Vix. It's castable, I'm fairly sure it was in the double digits, not triples. It's castable, I just don't know by how much.
Aaron not going to be checking the spell tower.
Uh-oh.
He must know that it's Child at this point. He's seen every other town. Maybe he has forgotten that he marked down the Child. Maybe when he was drawing his DWR map, he marked down he had a Child.
Aaron is in full go mode once he picks up the Child Chapter is the problem. He just left Nugasudu without it. He'll go back, it's just going to be a bit of a time loss for him once he realizes that Thunder is here and... wait, where's that Child? Ew. Yeah, Aaron has to know he needs a Child, so I'm surprised that he didn't just, check the spell tower. He can cast spells. He has spell as confirmed by his menu just now, and he can cast it. So I don't know.
Yeah, Vix. I would say Aaron. I was gonna say Aaron probably has the better routing overall right now because Vix has got to head back to both Death Valley and over to P4 and over to Maze Island, which Aaron has done already. Although Vix may have the opportunity to just skip the stuff on Maze Island because he's got the glove, just do the palace and get out of there. Something like that.
Aaron's sunk a little time into Maze Island. Mind you, Aaron's going to have to also make this trek back on foot as well because I don't think either of them want to pay back to the west. So, because Vix is just going to stop by Valley of Death, Maze Island, and then P4 in that order on the way back to GP on the southern coast. So this isn't the worst. I mean, it's not exactly fun to have to go traverse the entirety of the east in reverse again, but it is required, so it could be worse. This is an ugly valley, though. Yikes.
Yeah, I was about to say that Aaron still has sunken P-Bag Cave, I think, and the spell tower. So I think he's going to try to go into this sunken P-Bag Cave over here and check to see if this is the Child first.
Looks like it.
Child just ran away to the neighboring cave here. But not today.
Yeah. No, it's in a town nearby instead. VixRyder got 1 fairy feed and unfortunately missed the next 2 attempts at this one.
Wow, just a key in there. Okay, so not even a heart or a magic container in this sunken pea bag cave.
No. I'm not being kind.
Yeah, from Vix's perspective, okay, he got that one. I was going to say, it's probably time to just ferry the encounter and go.
Yeah, his success rate has been a bit mixed. Fairy Feet is a little bit of a tricky strat to master. Aaron's looking for his child. Thankfully, he does know there's only so many locations for it, but it's good for Vix that Aaron is spending a little time trying to find it.
Yeah, the double dip of new Kasuto here, having to go an extra screen and a half or so that he could have saved. I'm always looking at the smallest little time save because sometimes races come down to less than a minute, and you have to think that, if you had done something, you can find less than a minute anywhere in your route. So you try to think about these little time saves where you can make them. And that might have been where Aaron was thinking about this the first time, thinking, I don't want to walk 3 screens to get nothing out of the spell tower when I still have the desert tile and the sunken pea bag cave remaining. So he gambled and it didn't work out.
No. All right, P3 here for Vix continues to be a very nice green color. That P5, which wasn't even that bad, certainly pink, but not too bad. Brightest color we've seen so far. GP also a moderately bright purple, and that's a really fast Rebo.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't stick around here and try to do anything. He's probably just going to place the gem and go.
I don't know why Vix would stick around, to be quite honest with you. He's going to be at 5, 6, 7 coming out of here. He's got 7 magic jars, 6 hearts. He's got glove. He's got his spells. If he sticks around, I'd have questions.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing as he didn't stick around in 2 for the magic key.
He did skip Sunken Pea Bag Cave too. I don't think he's sticking around for this item. Not with a boss that's like 2 rooms in. Unfortunately, he does have to go make a trek all the way back through this valley.
Yeah, he and Aaron going to be high-fiving, one on the way in, one on the way out.
Oh hey, Attack and Magic 6 both costing 25-30. That's vaguely unusual.
I think we had two levels cost 970 each as well. There was a magic level, and I thought there was something else that cost 970. I'm not sure.
We'll be honest, I was not paying attention. Yeah, and yeah, here's another 1,000-point P-Bag on his way through this cave. High-fiving between our runners and Nick here.
And probably the 1,000-point bag as well drops on Aaron's side. Doesn't want it, though.
He's at 677. He doesn't need it.
He's probably going to up an A at the palace as well, and he's probably not going to find another 2,800 before he's out of here.
Another 1,000-point P-Bag for Vix on his way through. He might actually hit 25. He might actually get that level by the time he's at it. By the time he gets over to P5, I think. Magic refill on his way out, and he's gonna walk all the way back to the Maze Island.
So Aaron going up first. I think it was the other direction on Vix's side. I could be wrong, though.
I think Vix went straight down and found the Rebo immediately, so...
Okay, so a little bit more time that Vix is going to get back here. He needs a little bit more time because him skipping P4 and getting out of there is, again, potentially a little detrimental to the overall time, but we'll see if he's able to recover it here on Maze Island. Just get to the palace, get it done, and get out of here and go into 4. Try not to find the flute if you can help it, and then just find Karak and get out of there.
Yeah, Rebo was relatively quick. I was not paying attention to Aaron's route, but I knew he wasn't in here for very long.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't paying
unfortunately,
attention
Aaron
either.
has managed to go somewhere that is not straight down from start. I think was where Rebo was. It was like 3 rooms in. Also, a good point from Chad. Apparently, Aaron did not go back for Thunder after getting the child. He's gonna have to go back north for it.
Oh,
Whoops.
That is an absolute brain fart, man. That happens. Jeez, I hate that so much. That is an absolute, man. Wow.
That hurts. Heart container picked up. He got his last heart there out of 3. That is an up A, so okay, maybe not straight down from start, but it's fairly quick. And I think Remo's at the bottom of an elevator. Aaron just didn't check the bottom of that elevator shaft, I think. I don't know where Guma is beyond it. Was somewhat fast for Aaron, so hopefully Vix finds it soon. But yeah, Aaron's gonna have to go back up north as he now finds Rebo. Yeah, that was like 3 rooms in. Just took like the 1 fork he could at the start and missed Rebo.
Yeah, the sooner he realizes that, obviously, the sooner the better. But this is going to be his last gem. So if he doesn't think about it now, he's going to go into GP and then maybe not realize he doesn't have Thunder until he approaches Thunderbird's room and there's like, I don't even have this spell.
No, and if he goes back down to GP before getting Thunder, it's a long hike back up the entire eastern continent, basically. To get back from GP to Darunia is more or less a big reverse zigzag to get there. It's not fast.
Yeah, I was watching Vix's screen, but I think we saw some hand waving on Aaron's side. He's doing some talking, more hand movements. That could be, I can't read lips all that well on the somewhat distorted webcam picture I've got, but it may be, I forgot Thunder and I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I can't tell either. His face cam is a little bit pixelated as well, which doesn't help.
Like I said, though, happens.
No, Vix. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, happens to everybody at some point when you're in a rush, you're in a race. I've definitely walked into not only GP numerous times without Thunder being like, I need Thunder, but even hitting Thunderbird's room and realizing I forgot to pick the spell up.
Yep. It's not even that, I need to go look for an item for Thunder. It's in, Max Rando, for instance, or go find the town. It's just, I just forgot it. Whoops. But that is P5 down for Vix. Aaron just took a death here, getting it back out of the valley.
Yeah, just
gonna. P5 is very, very close to the bridge for Vix, so he's gonna be right out of here, and P4 is just south of here, so he'll be back in there fairly quick. Hopefully, he remembers what he did last time, so he doesn't do the same thing.
I think did we just see a gem set on fire there on Vix's side, second to last gem?
I think he might have, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Aaron headed north now. Okay.
That's good. Next, doing a little bit of an encounter reset there, and just gonna head over to P4.
Yeah, he hasn't been in here in a while, so hopefully he remembers any directions he has taken already.
It's been a while since I've been here. I wasn't following their divergent routes very well to begin with, so I have no idea how Aaron got to both the item and Karak, but it was not where Vix ran, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't follow that either. They were split up, and it was difficult to kind of track where they were all going. And so, yeah, I'm clueless as well, because those are two seemingly somewhat different directions in this palace that Aaron was able to find that Vix just completely missed when he was first in here.
Yep. Aaron double checking that he already got the Moth Desert tile.
More speaking to the camera, I can feel for that. I also have conversations with my camera all the time.
Yes, you do.
It's lonely being a Z2R runner in a tournament race. You got to talk to somebody. You have to let your anger out on something. All right, so Aaron is GP ready, not going to up an A. Okay, not going, yeah, because I don't know, at this point, it might be faster to just up an A and just walk it back to the raft tile, possibly, then have to go through several encounters. The encounter rate's going to be a little bit higher on the east here, and then he's going to have to go through 2 Darunia encounters, unless he can take a pass. No, there's no pass through south here.
No, there isn't.
Can he walk around? Is that what he's trying to do here?
He's trying to do it, but I'm pretty sure he can't, because that is hard the edge of the map there, as you can see by that rigid straight line. This is Vix back to where he was earlier, by the way. This enemy set looks familiar in this elevator. That's not good.
Yeah, he must have thought that glove block heading left was an actual glove block and not just a trolling fairy. I'm not a huge fan of that room myself, because I know that it confuses people.
It's caught me out before as well. Apparently Thunder costs 63 at Magic 6. Or Magic 7. Thanks, Chip.
Sounds about right. That's where you would expect it to be, somewhere in the 60s.
Nothing too surprising there. I hope that whatever the route to Karak is, Vix finds it soon, but he's currently back where he was earlier, which doesn't help.
Yeah, it looks like he just looped right around.
Yep. And Aaron's gonna be here in GP 108.33 by the resume timer. And, well, okay, the white accents on this GP does make this the brightest color in Palace of the lot today. Picks up upping back to start, that's good for him.
We did have a left at start, so that could be something. Aaron did not grab shield. He does have the life spell, though. Life 7, all the hearts. I don't know how hard Thunderbird's going to hit. Maybe for 3 hearts unshielded, maybe 2.5.
We don't know. More forks, unsurprisingly.
That's, of course, assuming Aaron gets hit. With all that magic, I imagine he might just try to pull off the vanilla strat where it's jump, reflect, and thunder. Oh, I thought I was going to say forced into the drop, but nope, Fairy's out of that. All right, Vix into some... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say the door means a new territory, but not necessarily because we might have not had a key when we were here the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this P4 is going to be possibly what costs Vix. Here's the glove block, but we didn't see Aaron go through this, so this could just... It may loop around somewhere, but it may also just end up being a dead end, because I'm not sure we saw the left-hand side of this room at all.
I don't think not sure we did either, as here's the pair of chicken lights giving Aaron a very hard time.
Yeah, it goes straight to a dead end. It's amazing that there are 2 areas of this entire palace that Vix has not been able to uncover just yet.
Yeah. P4's not even that large a palace, all things considered. I guess it just rolled up 2 max.
Well, I mean, it could be like low 20s in terms of root count, which is... If you got a lot of duplicate rooms...
We have seen some loops, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this one's larger than average for P4.
These birds in GP, though, are on Vix's payroll. They are slowing down Aaron immensely.
Yeah, he's good. He took a death to them earlier, and had a little trouble getting past them this time.
Yeah, we saw so many junctions. We're not even sure this is the right way just yet, but there is an elevator up at the end of this one that Aaron is in. Apologies to anyone if it's a little confusing when I keep talking about elevators. It's that boss rooms can be attached to elevators, and so elevators do serve some importance in routing. Okay, Vix hitting not enough to cast Fairy to get through there. Or he might have had enough, and he accidentally cast another spell, it looks like.
Cast Shield, yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. No, God, please don't take a death off that bot if you don't have to. Is there something else in this room? Okay.
Udumaker is a lot faster, yeah.
Yeah, bot life 7. That's going to be doing slivers of health.
Yeah. Orange Chicken Knight jumping on Aaron there. They're easy to take down, but they do hit hard, just like their more tougher cousins.
Yeah, Aaron taking the first left here. He probably feels like he's behind with seeing how everything was open and free up to this point, and then of course forgetting about the child and Thunder taking the gamble on that, having to walk back to Nukasudo Spell Tower, then forgetting to turn it in, having to walk all the way back there. So he's probably not feeling ecstatic about his overall routing, and so taking this left here.
Could be the way, as Vix is still looking for this Karok, as Aaron is not happy with himself about that death.
This is
so that's where the flute was for Vix. Okay.
Yeah, that room that Aaron was in, I'm one who enjoys that configuration of room. I know that many people do not. It is something that's been somewhat addressed in the latest version of the randomizer, where we saw that room, we saw the vertical dots, we saw the raw heads in there. Those enemies are considered generator enemies. And so there's a new setting in the latest version of the randomizer that the Upstarts tournament is not currently running on because it was still being worked on when this tournament went live. But we have an option called Generators Always Match. And so it's going to make it so that there's only one generator ever in certain palace rooms where the generators are present, and overworld encounters, which makes the rooms a good bit easier. It gets through, though. There's a key block here, but you can ferry through this one. Oh no, did we? Wow. Okay, Vix finally finding Karak here, realizing not a glove block whatsoever. It was open, it was free.
And he just never took this junction.
Yeah. Now, if Aaron doesn't find Thunderbird real soon, then it's going to be one of these other options that are, still available. And if Vix comes in here and just kind of, right routes this or God routes this, so to speak, that this could be a lot closer than it looks right now.
Yeah.
But Vix feeling behind, I'm sure, given he spent probably a solid 15 minutes in this palace overall in his 2 visits, that he might just start taking this left right away as well. And it looks like it's a dead end for Aaron into a 1-up.
Yep. And actually, for Vix at least, getting back to GP is as simple as just walking down this enormous body of water.
Oh, but he's going right instead of left. He
might
have
a slight mistrack on where it is.
Yeah, he might have also been trying to go for a dodge, though.
Yeah, possibly. But he's going to be in here shortly.
Okay, so it does look like it's a right. Aaron's back to going right. There's several junctions. I think we have 3 directions to choose from. Aaron chose one of them. It was the one that was very busy with the emoji room and the birds in there. And then I don't know if he dead-ended at the point, if he just ended up game overing and then started over it. Okay, see, Vix is taking the left.
Yep, 1:15:07, by the way, entry to GP for Vix, so 6.5 minutes behind, just about. Getting in. Sees that room, but decides to up A.
Yeah, he's making the right choice. He doesn't know it, though.
Yeah.
Another dead end for Aaron here. I haven't been paying full attention to all the routes we've got. Both of our runners cutting through the bottom of those bricks in this one room that Vix is in now, and it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50 jar or bird, and both of them getting the jar every single time. Could just end up being a bird in your face. You want to be a little bit more careful with that one particular block.
Yeah. Aaron did take the drop there. We've got another copy of this room. We've seen a few of them at this point. This one with some flying heads in it.
Love it.
Change of things.
If Vix takes the drop, he's going to be on Aaron's path.
Yep, that. Chickens forcing the drop, yeah. And suddenly they're only about a half a room apart. Aaron leaving as Vix just entered, and
wow,
Vix, you can't get out of here.
Yeah, he can go left here. This is
no, you can't go left. Never mind. I'm scatterbraining. So that is divergence here. Vix is going to head left from this drop. Aaron's going to head right from this drop.
Oh wow, we have an elevator down on Aaron's side, and an elevator up on Vix's side.
Oof, another blue chicken knight in Aaron's face. And that's more elevatoring. And head right here for Vix. There'll be another elevator at the other end of this room.
Yeah, we've got a lot of these rooms with double generators in them here.
Doesn't get knocked in the lava there for Vix, which is good. That room can be quite the troll as... that left from the drop was the right way for Vix, because that's T-Bird.
Wait, this is... Oh, no, sorry, this is a loop for Aaron, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a loop.
Uh-oh. Well, Vix has got to seal the deal here. He had to take that death. I think he's still... I just missed how many lives he has. Does he still have one more in reserve?
He's got
Okay.
2 left. That was his first life because he just updated before taking the drop. Remember, the drop is like 4 rooms in or something. Aaron is heading back to the drop room though, so he's not too far off. They're already down a life.
Yeah, Aaron doesn't... unless he up and A's, he doesn't really have a choice. It seems like it's kind of a straight left and follow that around and then just hold right. That's not very clear, but it's not too confusing to get to Thunderbird.
Once you get back to the room that they fell into from the drop, it's not too far from there.
Yeah.
You know, you head left and it's pretty straight. There's no forks between that drop room and the T-bird. That's...
Oh, Aaron has to go back through this room, though, as he came through. Wow.
Oh yeah, this ugly room. And okay, good T-bird fight for Vix. I was worried there a bit. Didn't want the comms curse him.
Aaron hanging out for dear life on the edges of these platforms here. Is this going to be our Thunderbird Darkling in the next room? Not yet. Oh, it's another drop. Oh, no.
Oh, great.
If Vix doesn't have enough to ferry across, he might get trolled on the other side of this. Okay, on the other side of this drop.
Okay, does have just barely enough and is going to ferry through to find... Oh, great.
Okay, so this is another ferry block. He's got a 50-50 jar in the bottom block there. He's got another life. He could just take a death. It might also be a fake-out ferry room. You won't know until you walk a little bit more to the right. It's a fake-out. Okay.
All right, time to keep walking. And orange chicken night
Oh, my God.
just barely survives it on a sliver of health.
These rooms are not the most beginner-friendly.
You don't say, as there's the death. This is best of 1, finals are best of 3, all other matches are best of 1. That hurts. Yowp. That is his final life. Aaron is going to have to go down to his final life here on T-bird, though. He has to die to get his magic back.
Oh, wow.
And that's that's GG here for Vix. He's got 5 hearts. He should be fine with some crouch stab strats.
Yeah, he's going to have to get hit a whole bunch if he's going to take the death here.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't try to do the, fancy strats with trying to actually fight Darklink instead of cheese strats, he's fine here usually.
Also with the shield spell, yeah, so he's even better off.
Fine. And that'll be GG's here to VixRyder, who's going to win the seed and move on to finals of the Upstarts tournament here with an official time of 1:20.51.
Wow. What a race.
Hey, gee, that final divergence after the drop being what decided it. Aaron went right, Vix took the left, and that was the, that's where T-word went. Aaron is going to go right here, which is the right way. I don't know that he can survive the trip over, though. Yeah, that's game over. And Aaron has decided to not quit. I don't blame him for that.
Wow. That's a very rough GP right there. Yeah, Vic seeing those tough raised up platform pit rooms with the glove blocks in them, and that he saw those immediately to the left, opted not to go into that one, and then started routing right. We knew the left was just a dead end, as Aaron just showed us earlier. Saw the one after the drop headed right. Aaron pushed through that. Vic saying, nah, I'll try the other way first. And the other way happened to be the way that led to Thunderbird. And then pretty straight path from there, as long as you didn't get trolled into the pit post Thunderbird and right before Darklink.
Yeah. Vix will be joining us for an interview after a quick bathroom break. Not sure yet on Aaron. See about that here in a minute.
I do wonder what that game over right there that Aaron took was probably pretty detrimental, even if he had turned in the child for Thunder when he was up in the northern section of the East. I don't think there was enough time there necessarily to say, assuming all of the routing was the same, I think he still would have been a little behind in time, just because of Vix's decisions not to go into those two particular rooms. And and like you said, getting trolled by the birds.
Yeah. And we are now joined by both runners. GG's, guys.
GG's.
GG.
Very spicy race from the top down for sure. A lot of back and forth. Of course, mistakes here and there that all kind of added up on each player's side. I mean, you were both in GP when it all came to an end, and you knew where the right route was at that point in time. Aaron, you had just gotten through Thunderbird as Vix was dot dunning. But yeah, pretty wild ride, all things considered.
Oh, for sure. I thought I was toast when I spent like 20 minutes trying to find Bagu.
Yeah, the two things on your side, Vix, the Bagu hunt and that P4 that you felt, we believe you thought it was glove blocked in the beginning, and then you left after digging around a little bit. You left and then came back way later, only to dig around again, find more loops, spend an excess amount of time in there, and then realize that Karak and the item itself were both open and available, and that couldn't have felt amazing.
No, I don't know why I didn't think of just to go up at the elevator instead of going down and digging around down at the bottom.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. That was a big thing for you, Vic, because you guys were both in P4 at the same time. You guys found... well, you guys both got to the east with boots at about the same time. I think Aaron was just slightly ahead, but not by much. So you guys were in 4 at the same time. Took wildly different routes, so Aaron found the flute and Karak fairly quickly. You did not spend a good while poking around left and then came back. And then you left Maze Island for a time, and then you found your Goblet on the east before finishing off your palaces, which helped.
Yeah, I was really hoping that Maze Island was at the bridge and I wouldn't need the hammer. I was really banking on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never saw the hammer on either runner, so we don't even know where it was. Yeah, Aaron, you had gotten Bagu earlier. You were both digging palaces at the same time. In fact, Aaron, you dug, or how did it go? Aaron, you did 6 first, got the boots out of there, then saw Barba. You were fighting Barba at the exact same time Vix was on Helmet Head, and then you actually just swapped bosses when you each did the opposite palace of each other. So you were both off to the east at the same time, although Aaron, you had gone through Jump Cave with Fairy, taken the raft, and seen that it was boots blocked. Vix, you hadn't spent that additional time seeing that information. You had the boots by the time you were just able to walk around Jump Cave, hit up the raft tile, and go. You were missing Raru. Everyone was missing Raru, but Aaron went south from the raft, saw Raru down there in a little enclosed area that was open via the water only, and it was just a life spell, as we know now, as we knew at the time, but as you know now. We were worried that it might be Thunder and that you weren't going to go that direction, but it ended up just being life, and Thunder was, of course, in Darunia today.
Yeah, that was a gamble on my part. I didn't want to go back to the west if I didn't have to. And as soon as I found that child, I'm like, okay, I really hope Darunia is Thunder and not Life. And if it's Life and not Thunder, well, then I'm in a lot of trouble. So...
Yeah, you both did 1, 2, and 6 on the west together. Neither one of you really headed back to the west, except Aaron. When you were done, there was that mistake. We saw a lot of hand gestures at the point where you were walking out of 3, and that was your final palace, and you're realizing, I didn't turn in the child after getting it, and I left, and now I got to go back up north. And from there, after turning it in, then you up and aid. You kind of checked a little south to see if there was potentially a path south, I imagine, and then you up and aiding. That was the only stint back to the west at that point, but that was probably faster. Just hit up the raft tile because GP was right there, as opposed to going through double Darunia encounters and walking all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yep.
We did make a comment. There was, I know you track via paper, via writing things down, and every time we made a comment that whenever you look down, that it just made me think that you were drawing a DWR map during all of this as well as tracking items. So I did. If you watch this one back, you will hear me saying that.
Okay, I appreciate the commentary, but I'm probably not going to watch this back. I was
Fair.
very frustrated with some really dumb decisions, like my inability to kill a red iron knuckle for some reason. That was like 6 minutes at the start of the race. That was just completely trash.
You guys had very different time sinks early. You went for the early grind off that iron knuckle at the entrance to P6, and unfortunately, you guys there were 1,000-point P-bags all over the small enemy pool, so Vix got much better levels much quicker in the early game, just because 1,000-point P-bags were dropping somewhat regularly, and you unfortunately lost a good few minutes there. Yeah, Aaron just not getting luck with the iron knuckles. What did help you was, unfortunately, Vix had really, really bad luck finding Bagu.
I had to go one tile to the left at one of those points. I thought I had checked it, and I guess I didn't.
Yeah, you spent a good few minutes making multiple trips over it.
That must have been fun if we were both doing it at the same time. Me just dying like an idiot in P6 over and over at the first thing, and scouring the forest looking for a single tile, which I saw 2 of the things, and I was like, well, I'm just going to farm this guy, and then I'll go search for Bagu, and then immediately found him when I finally, like however long it was, decided to go that way. So it's been very entertaining for chat, I suppose.
Yeah, not to embarrass Vix here, but there must have been at least 3, if not possibly 4 passes through that forest.
That's it? I thought it was more than that.
Okay, maybe I'm lowballing it here, but yeah, there was a good bit of forestry there.
That's why I went digging P1, because I'm like, did I miss it? Or because I couldn't remember my brain about Bagu's Woods showing up. I'm racking my brain. I'm like, well, maybe I can find something in P1 that'll unlock something and kickstart what's going on. And I ran into a key block, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta go find Bagu now. So
yeah, you both got the hint out of Saria that Helmet Head had the magic key. Neither one of you bothered to get it, though. We were concerned that Fairy was going to stay expensive, and early on, Vix, you had the potential to cast it twice with your slightly higher magic level over Aaron. Aaron only had it to cast once. But I would like to know why we were skipping magic key. I was just very interested because it was so early on. Aaron, if you can answer that one first.
I didn't see it on the way to clear P2. And I saw the hint. I didn't see the key, and I'm not going to waste time digging for it when there's keys in the drop pool.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. So you did see the hint. Okay, right. So there were keys in the drop pool. Speaking of keys in the drop pool, Vix, when you skipped the magic key, you were also walking past small keys as well.
I think I had 2 of them at the time, and I'm like, okay, that's all I need for right now with this fairy. And then ran into immediately like two doors. I thought I was going to be able to find more on my way.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, other than that, it's the little things along the way that really, as Z2R can be. I mean, as any rando can be, I think it's just this back and forth where, again, some mistakes are made on one side, they're not made on the other side, but other mistakes are made on that side, and then the second player doesn't make those same mistakes. So it's this back and forth. Again, kind of coming back to Maze Island as well. Aaron, you dug Maze Island for the items, not having the glove yet. Vix skipped Maze Island, saw the glove on the water tile just west of the bridge there, so he had the glove at that point. When he came back to Maze Island, didn't look for any of the items and didn't have that extra time spent looking for that, and those items I don't think were super rewarding. Might have been an extra heart or something in there. I forget exactly what was in there, but it wasn't a
heart container in a pea bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up clearing everything. While you were talking about where the hammer was, it was in P5 or it was in the vanilla hammer spot, because that was all I didn't touch. I did have a question, though. I felt like I cleared every cave on the west, but I saw 2 hammer-blocked caves, and I think I saw the transport, didn't I? Somewhere. Oh, never mind, I didn't. No, I did see a transport to Death Mountain, so I'm confused. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Sorry, I'm dumb. I just realized
that Death Mountain transport, I think, was on the east.
Yeah,
There's
I
two
saw
connector
that.
caves, and there's two continental connector caves. We saw one on the east, the other's hammer blocked on the west, and I
Yeah.
guess the other hammer blocked cave was the other end of a pass-through. I kind of lost track myself at some point.
Yeah, I just realized my problem was that I had forgot that one of those hammer blocks was just a pass-through, not a transport. It was the one right on the right, I think, because I kept seeing it every single time I went up through that way. But yeah, I think, I don't know, there's too many checks. Whenever I have this many checks, I feel real bad about the prospects. And then, I don't know, even if I manage to route everything, I still just, I don't know what it is. Like, I always enjoy Z2R until I get to GP, and then I end up feeling terrible and hating the game by the time I get through GP. And I felt like the rooms that I hate the most in GP were in this GP.
I don't want to speak for Vix, but I feel like Vix may have felt the same way because he saw those high platform rooms with the lava pits and the double generators and the glove blocks along the way that you pushed through, Aaron. You were able to push through those, but Vix saw both of those. He came in and headed left right away, saw that and was like, no, maybe I will just go right. And then fell into the drop thanks to the birds knocking him in and not faring out of that like you did the first time you passed through there, but taking the drop. And then he was just behind you. You were pushing through again, that same room, just a different copy of it, different generators from left to right. He saw it. He's like, yeah, no, maybe he thought it was a loop at that point. You can answer, but then he went back left, and that did ultimately end to Thunderbird, and that's why. Go ahead.
So a big part of that was I didn't have life spell, and I'm trying to find the path to least resistance because, like, my combat is still not the greatest, especially in GP. I'm like, I don't want a game over here. I'm gonna hopefully luck my way into finding a route that's not as dangerous as all the others, so I can kind of save my life, save my magic. Because if it is an early Thunderbird, then that means that GP is going to be massive behind it, or could be massive behind it, and I don't want to game over past Thunderbird. So it was more of just trying to find a path where there was the least amount of resistance.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are tough rooms. Aaron, you were able to get through that, but there were some close calls and there were some pushes back into potential lava falls and ferrying out of there. But yeah, those are tough rooms for sure with the double generators in there.
Yeah, I think it'll feel better once Elendar, I think they said they're going to put in a flag to make the generators not be different things, because I think that's just torture. And I also, there's been some critiquing of things in the Discord about rooms. Like the room that is jump dash, like it feels like a weird rando thing, and I'm not. Every time I see that room, I'm like, oh great, another magic drain that I have to do. But the bottom beams are just depressing because I can't even react to them half the time before you get hit. Like narrow hallway with bottom beams, and you're already on the bottom of the floor. It's just torture.
Yeah, the more you play, it's almost like you kind of wish you could flip the way that the dots, that they'd rather come from the ceiling than the floor when you've got, exactly like you say, very little time to react to that. And they hit you so hard, and it's really like, what was I supposed to do? Like, I can't even, you have half a second to react to that. Even if you're on hardware, it's still, you're still going to get hit by these things. You've got the fastest response time, lowest input latency, anything like that, and you're still going to get hit. And I agree with you there, and it's funny you were talking about the double generator flag thing with the beta. We also talked about that in the commentary booth here about how the latest version does have a flag to make those generators always match, so there will always only ever be one instead of two generators in those particular rooms. So yeah, these are just quality of life things that probably, well, some of them have been addressed and maybe some more need to be addressed, and it's version 404, unfortunately, is what this tournament's run on, so there's a lot of lack of control in some of these areas, and just, it was a little scary that it was going to end up some of these flags potentially rolling kind of, I don't know, nightmarish specifically, but maybe for newer runners or less experienced runners, kind of nightmarish. And this was a tough, last night's GP and that race was pretty tough. This GP was pretty tough as well if you went a certain way, and so, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for kind of making it a recriminations speech here, but I didn't want to say GG to Vix. I think when we had our, virtually meaningless tiebreaker race before, I was just thinking, okay, so what I expect to happen is that we're going to end up being rematched in, a week and a half, and probably, after I won that first one, I'm probably going to lose that because that's just how it turns out. But there you go. It's nice. We had
GG's again. Yeah, those were 2 great races. Well, the first one I can't say too much on my end. That was a good race on your end in the first one.
I don't know if either of us are super happy with this one. Obviously, to get the win has to feel pretty good, but this game has a way of just making you feel dumb at times, and I felt dumb plenty of times today.
Yeah, I don't. We didn't see this last night in the race for. Well, spoiler alert at this point. If you're watching these out of order, I will say who lost last night's race, and that was Valence. We didn't mention this then, and I don't know if this is how it's going to go down. If it's going to be third and fourth placed on seeding into brackets, or if there will be a playoff race for third and fourth. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on that one.
Oh, I'm not interested in a third place race. That's always depressing.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
All right. Well, I think that's it for me.
I am also out of questions on my end. Let's see. GG's again. If anyone in the chat has any questions, last call. In the meantime, I guess GG's, guys. Good run to the tournament for you, Aaron, and good luck to you in finals, Vix.
Thank you, and thank you guys for getting this all set up and for the comms and everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And I suppose it's time to turn it back over to VXR to vouch here.
All right. Looking at our schedule, we've got a couple tournament qualifiers, one for Wind Waker Randomizer at noon Eastern and one for Majora's Mask Randomizer at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it looks like we have a couple ALTTR AD Key Sanity tournament races on the schedule pending volunteers. So yeah, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take you to the greatest speed run ever made in the history of The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess Low Percent. You will see. Alright, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.